We welcome you back to First Energy Stadium here on the lakefront in Cleveland. We're in the fourth quarter now with the Browns in control of the football. Now it's Hopkins to add the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. And that one will go down in the books as just a one-play drive and then 3 points tacked on to the end of it. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. From the 6. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
Bills take over first and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. Remember, they have won 3 straight, but getting to 4 straight does not appear to be in the cards as they are in a big... And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Myles Garrett in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for him. Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Now left side on the swing pass. And able to use the stiff arm to gain leverage initially, but not much room thereafter. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. On 3rd and long, it's Allen. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Carl Joseph. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. First down marker at the 31. It's 3rd down. Throwing, Mayfield. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. Well, not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And now Mayfield on the bootleg. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down.
I know we could sit up here and dance around it a little bit. But going for 2 in this situation... somebody doesn't like someone else. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, what they couldn't see is you lean back in your chair and you went... Yeah, that's not a good decision. They didn't get it, though.
Yeah, I don't think you just say, well, my kicker's hurt in this spot. No, okay.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something.
Oh, Allen cannot get away, and down he goes. Sheldon Richardson able to record his 5th sack of the season. So after the sack, Allen and the Bills with work to do on 3rd and long. So the shotgun snap to Allen. And my goodness, another interception. Greedy Williams picks it off. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Following the interception, Mayfield. And finding the tight end, Hooper. And one of the whistles for a timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Well, the lead late in the 4th, but Mayfield's going to throw it. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone can stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
And the Bills are going to recover. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Browns, they remain as hot as anyone. 6-0 now through the first month and a half. And they'll get another home date next week as the Raiders will come to town. Meanwhile, for Buffalo, the loss here will move them back to 500 at 3-3. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Foxborough to face off against the New England Patriots. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Today from First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. It's Week 7 of the NFL on EA Sports.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season. Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. That's fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. The Raiders set to go to work behind their veteran quarterback, and that's Derek Carr.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. Threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
Carr now on first down. Catch is made by Hunter Renfrow. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, it was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Yeah, boy, a good surge defensively. It'll depend on the mark, but I'm not sure he got there. So opening drive, 3 straight runs, unable to pick up the first.
I know the fans want to see first downs, but guess what? The coaches have reasons for what they're doing. Sometimes they've scripted it, and some of these runs, while they haven't been successful now, they may be successful later on.
And all the way in, touchdown, Cleveland. An impressive 75-yard punt return, and the Browns have taken the early lead.
If you didn't know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now, he can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
And now this offense was set up to start their first drive. Instead, after the return, they'll only be needed for 1 play as they go for 2. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. They wasted no time showing how aggressive they're going to be in this game. They get the quick score, and then they go for 2, CD.
Surf's up, partner. And when surf's up, you ride the wave. They felt great about that quick drive. Put in the end zone. Why not go for 2? They felt comfortable with the play call that they had.
And the home crowd loves it. Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. And their second attempt here. The first drive stalled and they punted.
Time to break some things out, I think, in the playbook. Now that they've gotten out there, gotten settled a little bit, let's see if they open things up. Maybe try and get the ball in the hands of the guys who can get the ball into the end zone. They're playmakers.
They would like that. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Darren Waller, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. To throw again. Carr. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Myles Garrett in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year. From midfield, here's Carr. And they'll run the screen with Bowden. And he gets this only to the 41. Not near enough for the first. That'll bring up 4th down. They wind up getting 8 yards, but they needed more than that.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening.
And he can't field it cleanly. It's loose.
Kick catch interference. Kicking team.
Come on, homie.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now 1st and 10 at the 34. And right away, he'll look to throw. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
Oftentimes now, offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on his first drive. Instead, second down.
Malcolm Jenkins on the coverage.
On second down, Mayfield again. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. And finally down at the 9-yard line. 25 yards that time. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A gain of 9 there. Sets up second and goal.
At the 1-yard line.
Mayfield to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Not only did they drop what looked like an interception in the end zone, they blew a golden opportunity to shift the momentum.
He'll give it to Chubb, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb, touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Browns add on to their lead. Able to punch it in on third down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a fourth down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating, will we have to make the call? They already had it lined up, never even got to it.
Dustin Hopkins on now to add the extra point. And it's 15-0. So the drive there took 6 plays. And Nick Chubb the one to finish it off, as he does so with a touchdown run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Called it the 26.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Raiders offense ready to go. This is their third drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Sheldon Richardson in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
57.
Another try after the first down sack. Carr. That's complete to Lynn Bowden. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
A gain of 4.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Offense.
Yeah, we dominate today.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
He gets this one complete to Bowden. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a fourth down. Here's the Raiders punter now. Remember, his first attempt was returned for a touchdown. 15-0 our score. It's the NFL on EA Sports. That's pulled in at the 32. Skirts by him at the 35. And now he spins free. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over 1st and 10.
All day, dog. 44's the mic.
A first down throw for Mayfield. Over the middle to Beckham. 20. Odell Beckham Jr. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Browns add 6 to their lead.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. Those are the kind of drives they like on offense, from the coordinator to the quarterback, the line, everybody. One play drive and into the end zone for 6. And the hands team for the Raiders able to secure it. A second quarter onside kick there that failed. Is that something that maybe they had dialed up before this game started?
It feels like it, doesn't it? That they thought they had the right situation, you know, and the right approach in going after it. Also may signal that they feel like they have the superior team, that they can try these sorts of things and it won't come back and hurt them later.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. You can count his carries on one finger. They've only given him the rock one time, Charles. What gives?
So we can't draw any conclusions just yet. He has to touch the ball multiple times in order to get into a rhythm and have a chance to have success. You know who else gets into a rhythm? The offensive line. They feel better about what they're doing when they know they've had multiple opportunities to get it done.
Yeah, well, the conclusion we can draw so far, they're losing here in the second quarter. Let's see if they change tunes. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
And he's going to take this down close to a first down at the Browns' 34.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Able to find Waller. That's complete. And he is going to have the Raiders' first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1. First down Raiders, Carr to Waller.
Las Vegas.
57's the mic. Watch 57. Pick it up. Pick it up.
They're going to go with a tight end here on the running play. Down to the 25. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
A gain of 2. Brings up 2nd and 8.
Carr now to throw. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Curtis Samuel, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Raiders get a score closer.
The catch and the touchdown, they were the end result of a terrific route run by the receiver.
And it's good. It makes it 22-7 now. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it ends with a Las Vegas touchdown. McCann's got it teed up. Takes this about 5 yards deep. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble of bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27. There's Baker Mayfield as he and the Browns offense comes back out. And they must have seen something leading up to this one that said, hey, we're going to be able to go deep because they've gone deep with a lot of success.
And pick your phrase, pick your code words, your buzzwords, whatever, vertical stretch, deep passes.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget.
I can't believe
They go with Chubb on second down. Oh, an absolutely filthy juke. He's got some space now. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 24. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Maurice Hurst. What a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Another try after the first down sack. Mayfield, and that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And he gets it to his running back, Nick Chubb. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Hopkins on for the field goal. A 37-yard attempt.
Hopkins' kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further.
Makes the score Browns 25, Raiders 7.
So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
Yeah, things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You could never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
The open man here, Renfro. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
I got you. I got you. 51 to Mike. 51.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Carr got his man. That's Tyrell Williams. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39.
Roughing the passer, defense.
They ain't on our side.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Henry Ruggs, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Let's make these makes.
Throwing again. Carr. Open man is Samuel. Complete. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
He's airing it out for Williams. That's going to be caught. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas.
Touchdown.
Tyrell Williams. as the first half is winding down. And the Raiders make some inroads here on that deficit.
Well, that touchdown certainly helps, but they've got to go ahead and convert, get to the half, and figure out how to keep chopping down this lead in the second, don't they?
Yeah, they still need to regroup, and they still need to end the second quarter strong. A little bit of time left. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football.
Fumble on the play. Recovered by the Raiders.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Shotgun now for Carr. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the right hash, and this one just a chipping. McCann's kick up and good. And that'll make this an 8-point game.
25. Raiders. 7.
So, yes, they'll still be down going into intermission, but the deficit is now made even smaller, very manageable.
Yeah, and if nothing haywire happens here in his last couple of precious seconds, they will go into the locker room with a nice bounce in their step, having gotten a little bit closer on the scoreboard.
So we have reached halftime here in what's an 8. The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. Both these offenses have been in fine form. What will the second half bring us as we are underway in quarter 3? And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Browns drive about to get started. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. 33 yards that time.
At the 45-yard line.
Mike 42. Mike 42. Check. Mike 42.
To throw, Mayfield. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. Stops short of the 25. The nice move couldn't ultimately free him. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Brings up 2nd and 5.
Mayfield looks to throw. Quickly into the hands of Beckham. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 13-yard line. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a 3rd here, and it's good for a first. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Drops it off for Chubb. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb with his 19th touchdown, his 2nd of the game. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. So up comes Mayfield as his guys will go for 2. That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the 3rd quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is let you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you have taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. And they're Halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
And he tries to keep the legs churning, but he's going to be stopped behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
At the 22-yard line.
On 2nd and 11 now. Carr. He's going to find and complete it to Renfro. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds.
Come on, Nat.
So that one will be accepted. So now a fresh set of downs. 1st and 10 after roughing the passer.
Heavy on the edges, heavy on the edges. 50 seconds to mine.
They run with Bowden. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Brings up 2nd and 5.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. Got an open man, it's Ruggs. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Go, go, go. Right. He's tight, right.
On first down, Carr. That's caught by Waller out left side. Carr, 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride and he can pick up.
Blitz coming and down he goes. Larry Ogunjobi in for the sack. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
Lets this go for Renfro downfield. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Grant Delpit. And he'll take this back all the way up past the 45-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Now a throw here going to be taken in by the tight end, Njoku.
Get off the field.
Left side. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. David Njoku, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Browns add on to their lead. Well, that's pretty impressive, Charles. It's one thing to be an elite speed wide receiver and have all that yards after the catch into the end zone, but from your tight end?
Yeah, you don't get that very often. What you're describing is more like a Tyreek Hill, a Devontae Adams, and Antonio Brown. You're not talking about a guy that lines up or can line up in line and look like an extra tackle on running plays. He took that bad boy downfield just like he was a scat back.
Before the game, he told me, I'm going to have a zinger or two today. And I was like, oh, a zinger or two? I guess that's a zinger, right?
That's a zinger.
And that PAT pushes the lead up to 23 now. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
Complete to Curtis Samuel.
3 quarters in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we're back now here in Cleveland. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Throwing again on second down. Carr, and some space here. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Browns defense has a touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
The defense more than did its job. Now the offense is summoned onto the field as they'll go for 2. Here's Chubb to try to run it in. And he's going to go down right at the line of scrimmage. The defense left him with nowhere to go, and the try for 2 is denied. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. And the hands team for the Raiders able to secure it. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie.
That's a nice job defensively to make sure everyone was accounted for, because ordinarily you pick up the guys downfield and sometimes you forget about the running back. In this case, they did not and dropped him for no gain.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's called. A short one here, secured by the tight end Waller. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Larry Ogunjobi able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Raiders try it on 4th down, but to no avail. And this Browns defense stands tall. So here are the Browns to take over. Their win streak at 6 coming in and counting as they've got the lead right now, beginning this drive 1st and 10. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a 1st down. I tell you, they didn't give it to him much through the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Yeah, I'm not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, if they want to ride him down the stretch, he should have fresh legs.
They run again on first down, Chubb. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. Fourth quarter, you've got the lead. You have to stay in bounds and run that clock. Coaches, that'll drive them crazy.
Sacrifice a yard or two if you have to. Just go down, in bounds, keep that clock going. It's almost like he was caring more about his fantasy stats than it was about winning the game, and that has to drive the coach crazy.
And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A first down there on a pickup of 25. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people have pointed out to me, this is a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. From the 13 now, they work on first and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he's going to keep it here. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
And we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Well, where our booth is here, we can see all of the writers to our left. And their post-game stories, Charles, they have been filed for some time because this game, boy, is it lopsided.
Yeah, we can see our guy Scoop. He's even got his fedora tipped over his face. I think he's taking a nap now. Nothing left to write for him. But how gratifying has it been for them to see what they've done in practice and carry it into a game and see the execution be so good? They've got to feel fantastic about what they've accomplished in this one.
Here's Hopkins now for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. A drive that time of 6 plays. And Nick Chubb the one to finish it off as he does so with a touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
25-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Myles Garrett, it's his 20th sack of the season as he continues what could be a record-setting campaign. Throwing on second and long. Carr, Renfro bringing it in over the middle. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
You got it. You got it.
So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And able to complete it to Moreau. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's first and 10. Carr completes it. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And this is picked up by the Browns. Evades the tackler and now some space. And nearly a touchdown as they finally stop him down at about the 3-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. They'll run with Chubb. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. A loss of 2 there, second down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
And a good display of footwork will only get him just inside the 5 to the 4. They get only a yard there. Now it's 3rd and goal.
It's now 3rd and goal.
Here we go.
3rd and goal. They're going with Chubb. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today.
A 25-yard attempt.
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And all the gamble fails. It's incomplete. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. And the Raider D, they get the football back. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one.
Set the tone, defense. Let's go.
Throwing on first down is Carr. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. To throw again. Carr. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
He did a fine job there not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick 6 makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or 2.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
Hopkins with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead.
Raiders 17.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Now this will make it into the end zone, and this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one.
17.
A big offensive explosion help leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those weak, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Cleveland, their winning ways continue as they get it up to 7-0. And they'll have another home date next week as the Detroit Lions come to town. Meanwhile, for Las Vegas, the losses are piling up as they drop to 1-5.